Hi lads, just want to talk to you about the formation of headlands and bays. What you can see in the diagram here is they form where you have alternating layers of soft rock surrounded by harder, more resistant rock. And as you can see, we've used as the example here the soft rock being the clays and the harder rock being rocks such as sandstone or chalk and limestone. And what it means is that, as you can see here, the softer rock is far more easily eroded than the harder rock, and so you end up with this series of headlands protruding out into the sea and then bays being eroded back, and it tends to get more extenuated over time, and this is due to wave refraction. So normally your waves would arrive all in a straight line. However, due to the headlands and bays, they tend to bend the wave due to wave refraction, and you end up with your waves arriving a little bit like this around the headlands, and that means that their erosive power is then facing into the headland, making them more prominent. What eventually will happen is the headlands attack to such a great rate that it will break through the rock, creating an arch. Now, of course, rather than saying attacked at a greater rate, we want to say that it's attacked through abrasion, through corrosion, hydraulic power, until eventually it's broken through. Originally it will find an area of weakness, a weak crack, which, if I draw you a little diagram here, this is a side view of a headland. The waves may attack a little weak crack here, which will then develop into perhaps a little cave. Eventually that will break through to create an arch. Due to the erosive power again occurring and also weathering on the top of this arch, it will eventually collapse, leaving behind a stack here, and that stack will then be eroded and weathered over time, and as it does get totally eroded and fall apart, it will become a stump, and you end up with something looking a little bit more like that. At the same time, as the waves hit a bay, they refract in the opposite direction, therefore losing energy, causing deposition to occur within a bay. So just to summarise, the main reason you get headlands and bays is due to the difference in rock types between softer, less resistant rocks such as clay, and then alternating layers between that and harder, more resistant layers of rocks such as sandstone, chalk or limestone. Because of the different rates of erosion, you end up with the headlands sticking out to sea. These are extenuated due to wave refraction, whereby the energy of the wave becomes focused on that headland, causing it to erode at a much greater rate. In the bay area, the wave's energy is dissipated, so it loses energy, and therefore deposition occurs, which is why you tend to end up with beaches in bay areas. As the headland gets attacked more and more, it may find an area of weakness. It'll break through that to create perhaps a cave, and then eventually an arch as it breaks through to the other side. The arch will then collapse due to weathering occurring at the top of the arch and also erosion making the arch wider. Eventually gravity takes its toll and it will collapse to leave behind a stack. This stack will then get eroded and eventually collapse into the sea to leave behind a stump. I hope that is clear, and if you go, I will just show you on the next slide now what a stump the process of forming a stump will look like. And here you can see where the waves have broken through due to the waves attacking that headland. Eventually that arch will collapse and you'll end up with your stump here, and then it will form a stack, and you can see that that's where it's occurred previously here. Okay, and as you can see in the bay, you'll have your waves approaching like that, refracting in the other way. Okay, so therefore it's less energy, and that's what ends up with your beach occurring here, because if there's less energy, then deposition occurs.